Buenas tardes, Nogalenses. First off, want to apologize for some short little technical difficulties that we had that made us have to do our broadcast in two parts. But we're back and we're going strong, right? Right, ladies? All right, so we're gonna run through the news updates pretty quick so we can focus on what you guys are doing for the community. First and foremost, last Friday, the 22nd of March, there was a mayor's forum at the Santa Cruz Center right here in Nogales, the Provisional Community College District, where there was Mayor Rothschild from Tucson, Mayor Garino from here in Nogales, and Presidente Municipal Puyol from Nogales, Sonora. And they came together to talk about border issues, things that are going on, staffing at the ports, long lines, ridiculously long lines. I don't know how often you guys cross. Not for a while. Yeah, it's because the lines are so long. Well, guess what? They're about to get longer because I don't know if you guys have seen the news, but in Texas they have something like 13,000 immigrants incarcerated, and they only have capacity for about 4,000. Yeah, and so they are pulling agents and officers from other ports to cover, to help them staffing over in Texas. And the Nogales Port of Entry is already understaffed. It's been understaffed for a really long time. So imagine, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We'll see. Less incentive to cross. Yeah. I'm really, really interesting to see what it does to the economy, because a lot of the people that we have here are shoppers from across the line. So we'll have to see. So the mayor's forum, it was pretty good though, to have them come together and have this commentary opened up between the three different mayors in this corridor that we have that goes north. Other things that happened this last weekend on Saturday was the Nogales Bicycle Classic. Did you guys watch our coverage of that?
Yes.
You did? Patty did. Of course, Patty did.
Yes.
Thank you, Patty.
Yeah, Mariposa actually was one of the sponsors for the race, and we had participants from staff from Mariposa as participants.
Really? Did any of them win any awards?
Not that I'm aware of.
The microphone.
Oh, sorry, not that I'm aware of. No.
If you do want to receive the results for that, you can go to the Circles of Peace website or to their Facebook page. And in fact, I think we're going to post up the results on our Facebook page as well. Another interesting news from that particular event was, I don't know if you guys follow me on social media, Patty, I know you saw this. I'd forgotten to wear sunscreen. I want to thank Circles of Peace for asking me to be the master of ceremonies at this event. It was awesome, such a huge honor. But I did forget to wear sunscreen, and at one point, the girls from Circles of Peace actually asked me for the microphone so that they could have it, so I could go sit in the shade for a little while. And I got home and I looked in the mirror and my face was red, like a tomato. If my hair was green, I would have looked like a tomato. So Edgardo was going to show you that picture. I don't know if he already did. Yep, Edgardo's got it right there for everybody to see. Some other very, very interesting, another very interesting thing happened on that day. Here, in fact, I'll pull it up for you girls to see too. So last year, there was a Sasquatch sighting. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. In downtown Nogales at Karen Park. Yep, I'll show it to you right now. Wait. In Nogales.
I think I know.
Okay, hold on. All right, so last fall, we're going to play the video. Actually, you know what? Better yet, we'll play the video for you. Let that speak for itself. Edgardo, you ready? So that is the most recent footage of the Sasquatch of Karen Park. Moving a little bit further north on Morley, if you guys didn't notice, it's no longer in Karen Park. I'm a little bit nervous to see where he's going to be sighted yet. It's going to be a surprise. But authorities do say that if you approach it, shake its hand, give it free food. The most important part is to give it free food. And don't make it angry. Food is important. And then engage in friendly conversation, and everybody should be fine. All right. So moving on this last Monday, there was, I don't know if you guys heard about this, that the Santa Cruz County Superintendent Alfredo Velasquez was putting on this program called Tecnolochicas. You heard about that? It's pretty cool, right?
Yes.
It's about for Latinas. They are underrepresented in the IT industry, and it's to help them, the girls that are coming up, and with this knowledge and with this experience and interest in this field, to see the representation that is there for them, because the representation is very, very important in any industry. It's important to feel represented, and they go around the country. I know Univision is part of it. Televisa, I believe, was also part of it, and they go around the country to promote this. It's very cool, isn't it? It's really cool. Unfortunately, because I was sick, I wasn't able to be there, but I really, really wanted to be there. So I apologize, Alfredo and Chris, that I wasn't able to make it. Thank you for sending us some pictures of this. It's a really, really cool event. Another thing that happened actually also on Monday is Hector Treto, right here from Nogales Community Development, did the Micro Venture Launchpad class, his first class. Did you guys hear about this?
Yes.
You did. Patty did, of course. Patty's involved in everything, Yeah, so she's the local gossip, I guess you could say. No, I'm just kidding, Patty. I'm just kidding.
La comadre.
Sí, entonces si quieren hablar de chisme con alguien, aquí está la Patty. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess so, huh?
I know, you should open one. So this was the first of 4 classes that are still openings. So if you are interested, just come down to right here to Nogales Community Development. It's the old Foxworth building downtown, right here where we record the show, and get yourself signed up, get involved. Some other things, the last few updates that we have to do before we jump into the interview have to do with Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District 35, which we don't actually cover very much of here on the show, and we should probably cover a little bit more of. But they've got a couple things that happened. 2 students, one from Calabasas and one from Coramundi, Jean Venegas and Manuel Lopez, they are semi-finalists for the 2019 National Geographic GeoB to enter into the Arizona State competition. That's pretty cool. I'm very, very, very proud of them. Congratulations, guys. I'd like to see, let's see where you guys go next, and good luck, and keep working hard. Also, there are 2 new principals for SCV USD 35. Rio Rico High School, their new principal is Hector Estrada, and then the former vice principal of Rio Rico High School, Bethany Patterson, is going to be the principal of Calabasas. John Fanning, I believe, is retiring. He's been the principal for a while. He was actually my football coach in middle school. Yeah. That was a long time ago. Too long ago. We're not going to talk about how long ago that was, but all right. So we're going to go to another commercial break really quick, then we're going to jump right into the interview with you guys.
Great.
Cropper's Nogales Auto Center, your local dealer of Chevy, Buick, and GMC. The best place to find the newest, award-winning Chevy, Buick, and GMC models. But there's more. Cropper's also provides professional certified service, parts, and a full-service body shop and collision center. Come on over and see for yourself everything Cropper's has to offer. Located at 1831 North Grand Avenue, Nogales, Arizona. www.croppercare.com, 520-762-6446.
We're back. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Before we jump into the interview, I also want to make sure that everybody that's watching now gives this video a like and a share. Make sure that everybody in the community, in your community, is aware of what these girls are doing for you. It's some pretty awesome stuff. I'm pretty excited about this. This is something new for Mariposa.
It is, yes.
Very, very cool. Now, before we get in the interview, I know that we have a video that you guys provided for us of all of us.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And does it break it down more or less, or is it just kind of an intro into what you guys do?
Basically, it's an intro to the entire program, the All of Us program, and then what we're doing with it nationwide.
Okay. Very cool. So we're going to shoot that video for you guys real quick. It's about a minute long, and then we'll be back. All right, so Patty, since you've got the microphone, well, actually, no, before we describe the video, let's do introductions. Patty, you've got the microphone, so how about you go first?
I am Patty Molina. I'm the Senior Director of our Community Health Services Department for Mariposa Community Health Center.
My name is Lisette Moraila, and I am a COC with Mariposa Clinic as well.
Hi, my name is Lupita Rodriguez, and I am a clinical research coordinator for Mariposa too.
Good evening, Nogales. I am Jeanette Peralta, and I'm also one of the coordinators along with the team here at Mariposa and the trainer from the University of Arizona helping along with the Mariposa effort in this awesome program.
Very, very cool. So who wants to go over the video real quick? Right. So explain to our viewers what they just watched.
So the video everyone just saw is based on what we are trying to promote on a nationwide level. It's really hitting every state that we possibly can right now. Arizona is actually a leading state, thankfully. And so what the video is introducing is this idea of what we are trying to move towards in the future of health for everyone, and that's precision medicine. That basically means the personalization of our medical needs, the tailoring, if you will, of our needs in medicine, in healthcare. And that's exactly what the video is promoting, that one of us may have the key to the future of health, or maybe it's in all of us, and we need to work together as a team in the nation to bring this idea into fruition.
Very, very cool. So, Lupita, do you want to explain what the Be One in a Million is about? I'm reading this right now, the flyer that you guys gave me.
Okay, the Be One in a Million is basically representing you as a participant because you're different from everyone else. So you are unique and you are one in a million.
And I see, diversity is one of the keys to really, really
definitely one of the keys
to get to, well, like you mentioned, unlocking this future of health.
Exactly, we're all different. Our environment, our lifestyle, our genes, they all have an effect in our system. So what better way than to study it than be a part of this?
Very, very cool. So are you guys shooting for 1 million participants?
Or more.
Or more?
Mm-hmm.
2 million, 3 million, 7 billion?
As many as we can. Yes.
Very, very cool. So, go on. Let's explain. All of us, it's a research program that Mariposa just started. It's been in the process for a while. Yeah, Patty's got it.
So no, Mariposa did not start this.
Sorry.
Mariposa is collaborating with this project. It's actually funded through the NIH.
Okay.
And our portion of the funds in order to facilitate this program here in Nogales through Mariposa Community Health Center comes via our partnership with the University of Arizona and Banner Health.
Very, very cool. So give us some background. It didn't start with Mariposa, obviously. It started with NIH, and they had this idea of unlocking the future through diversity, through diverse samples of DNA. And what brought it here?
To the United States?
Not to the
or-
United States, to Santa Cruz County, to Mariposa Community Health Center.
Oh, well, basically it's the uniqueness of our community here, the fact that we're a border community and you know, where we are at the border. That was what attracted the researchers to this community here in order to be able to study just about all different, you know, different types of people that basically the study is going to encounter.
Very, very cool. Awesome. So, Liz. Now so it says right here, you know, why should I join? Let's walk somebody through the process. Why first? Why should they participate?
Why you should participate is a great question there. We want to have a diverse. A diverse database. So of course we want to have different people of all different backgrounds, whether you're healthy, not healthy. We want to see what the difference is between us. Why is someone really healthy and why is someone always sick? As far as for Nogales, like we've mentioned, we are a diverse city. So I just do want to throw it out there. Out of our 10 states, we are the first to be at a border town. So we are unique to the program.
Very cool. Very, very
So
cool.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
But as far as that, we want to see, definitely, our main point is to see why are we all so different in our healthcare.
Okay.
Or in our health.
Are there unique health problems that Santa Cruz County faces? Maybe not necessarily unique, but health problems that affect us more greatly than they do in other communities?
From what? Well, go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay. Go for it.
So a big one just because of our border community where we are a culture and the way that the Latino community eats. Of course, diabetes is a huge one. That is one. There are a lot of chronic diseases and all kind of collaborate and combine together. Heart disease, hypertension is a huge one as well. But diabetes is the one that is more prevalent.
Too many carbs then. Yeah.
Yes.
And I love that. Acabo de comer unos tacos ahorita antes de venir.
But you know, there is a way to continue to eat all those nice, rich Mexican food that we like, but making it healthier.
Absolutely.
And like someone a long time ago says, hey, we're Mexican, spice it up.
That's perfect. That's perfect. You know, hablando de eso, you know, like giving up things that like for the Cuaresma. Did you guys give up anything for the Cuaresma? Do you guys want to talk about it? My wife. Well, the reason I bring this up is because my wife gave up flour. So if she's only going to eat tortillas, it has to be corn tortillas. You know, and she can't eat donuts or anything like that. So what did you guys give up?
Sweets, but I already broke down.
Oh, no, Pati, no me digas. Oh,
I know, it's hard for me.
I know, I was going to say, your poor baby.
I know. Of course, the sweets, the fast foods, but, you know, we've got those cravings.
Absolutely. I'm sure that he forgives you.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to give up the sweets, but unfortunately I couldn't. I'm too...
You couldn't? You already gave in?
Yeah, it was just too hard.
What about you, Jeanette?
Well, as Patty pointed out earlier, I'm all about the spicy food.
Oh.
So it's awful for my stomach. Also being a diabetic, it's just not good for my stomach. So I had to give up Flaming Hots, which is my absolute favorite snack in the world.
I don't think I could do it.
They're awesome. And then I also gave up soda to go with it.
That's good,
specifically Coke Zero and Coca-Cola.
Interesting.
You know, so I can stick to my bubblies. And all my other sparkling waters.
Nice. You know, I've this is in general. I started getting my blood pressure started going up, so I started giving up soda, and I have been doing sparkling water.
And it's improved, right?
Yeah, it's
you
a
feel
lot.
a little
like the
better at
sugar-free, sodium-free, just sparkling water, and no sweeteners either, because you know aspartame is, from what I understand, is really bad for you. Yeah, so the no sweetened stuff, and it works. It works good for me. I like it. So even though I didn't give up anything for the Cuaresma, I didn't. I don't think I could do it, but I don't drink soda anymore.
But you're eating healthy.
I am trying to eat healthy, very, very much so. All right, so let's go back to what you guys are talking about. We got a little off subject. All right, so Jeanette, since you've got the microphone, you know, we covered why should you join, but what if somebody does want to join? What are the benefits?
Oh, absolutely. We definitely want to encourage everyone to come on down to Mariposa. There are so many benefits for all of the participants. On an individual level, on a personal level, it's beneficial just to go find out about yourself. Simple as that. You know, you go into the clinic, and for the physical measurement portion of the visit, we actually take blood pressure, we take height and weight, we take hip and
No me
waist
voy,
circumferences. Well, it's, you know, it's a great way to get a checkup if you haven't gone in a while.
No,
at least start up.
I actually, for a while, I became obsessive about measuring myself because I was going down. I was going down, and it was really good. And I do see the benefit because it motivated me. Aside from knowing where I was, it motivated me to continue to push. When I can track the measurements, it motivates me.
Precisely. That's actually how a lot of people use our measurements to
Very
start a new system and track it. And they just keep a copy, which we give to them. So it's fairly easy to do that. So you learn a little bit about yourself in that visit, and that way you know, should I actually go to the doctor more often than I think I need to, or am I right on track? Aside from that, because we do take a blood and urine sample, there's also a genetic portion.
Ooh,
so if anyone's interested, we do that for our participants, and that's
Awesome.
totally free of charge for our participants.
So this is like the 23andMe kind of a thing, but done through you guys.
Great question.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
In simple, no. In short, no. It is a completely different program. I know 23andMe is focusing solely on ancestry, giving you back your information of where you come from, whereas our program does a more in-depth study of your genetics, your DNA.
So health-wise
it's
type of thing.
Definitely more health-wise.
Like
exactly.
if your genes are predisposed to diabetes and things like that.
Precisely.
Which I think is very, very important information to have.
Very important, especially for Hispanic communities. It's something that a lot of us are affected by. So it's great. That's why we're asking a lot of people from this community to go and join and contribute to this huge database that we're trying to form so that researchers can actually give us treatments that work.
Very, very cool. Now, Lupita, I know that we talked about the measurements and we talked about the blood and urine, but there's also surveys that people can take, right?
Yes, there's an online portion. The online portion consists of two components, the consents and the surveys.
Okay.
The consents, it's just like your basic informed consent, and also we ask that you give us consent to access your electronic health records. And there's 3 surveys that are based around your life, your lifestyle, your environment, and just like your basic information.
Very, very cool. Okay, and that's what the surveys basically entail?
Yes, that's what the surveys
now,
entail.
let's get to the important part, the money. So I understand there is, like, if you actually complete a process, there is a reward.
Yes.
Yes?
Once
Okay.
you become a full participant, which means completing the online portion and the physical measurements and donating your blood and urine, we give you a gift card. Yeah, a $25 gift card for your
Very,
time.
very cool. Awesome. Very, very cool. So it's, aside from, I mean, the most important thing is that they're contributing, any participants are contributing to something that's a great cause, you know, to really, really helping not only for their own personal health, but for the community health.
Yes, definitely.
But for their time, they are compensated
Of course.
if they commit to the program and do it properly.
Yes.
Very, very cool. So we talked about what brought it here, but I mean, how can people get involved? I just saw this right here. So there's different ways for people to get involved.
I'll let Liz answer that.
All right, Liz, let's do it.
So the way you can participate in our program, there are 3 different ways. You can go ahead and download our app. It's at our app store, or anybody Play Store. You can look for the AllofUs app and register there. Or you can give us a call with our phone number that we have listed as well. And then we do have, you can walk into Mariposa Clinic. We're located in the Sierra building, which is a 2-story building. And we are located in the bottom level.
Okay.
If anybody.
We're pediatrics.
Yes,
Where
pediatrics and
is the lady-
dental.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay, cool.
Definitely. You'll see our table there. Or ask anybody around about us, and they will point you in the right direction to find us as well.
Very, very cool. Awesome. And that's the best way for people to get involved in this. And I mean, aside from what we've talked about, let's go into depth of what people actually experience. You guys have had participants already?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yes,
So what
definitely.
is the in-depth experience? I mean, we've talked about on the surface, what people go through, but for you guys yourselves and for participants, let's talk about really what they go through to make this?
The actual process?
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes about an hour and a half to do the whole process if you decide to do the program with us entirely.
Okay.
Because you do have the option to do your online portion at home with our links. And if you, like I said, if you do the whole process with us, it takes an hour and 30 minutes. You come in, we register you online, you do your online portion. You do your consents and your surveys, and then we invite you to do your physical measurements, which includes your height, your weight, your hip and waist circumference, blood pressure, and then of course we ask for a sample of blood and urine, and then that's when you get your lovely $25 at the end, of course.
And I assume it's confidential.
Of course, everything is confidential, definitely.
Of course.
I do want to throw out there, we do not share information with any other agencies. We don't report anything to your healthcare providers or to your health insurance, to your work of place, to the government as well. This is strictly for medical research.
To Russia? Just kidding. Just kidding.
To no one else, exactly. So it's strictly confidential. So we don't share your information with anybody. So if anybody's, they're worried about that information being shared, it is strictly confidential.
So if anybody's Snapchatting while they're getting their measurements done, it's not Mariposa's fault for sharing the information. They share to themselves. Right?
That, exactly.
Cool.
Can I add to something that you just said? So the process in its entirety, as Liz said, about an hour and a half if you do everything from start to finish there with one of the clinical care coordinators. However, if you grab the app and you download everything and you start all of those surveys and everything else before that, when you get to Mariposa after you've set your appointment, so you can just do the physical measurements and your blood draw and the urine sample,
Fast.
10, 15 minutes? And really quick.
So you can do basically most of it from home.
And you can do it from your smartphone. You could do it from a computer. If you need any of that help, we can help you with that too. If you don't have access to a smartphone or a computer, make an appointment for that and we can help you to do that too. If it's separate to the entire process, doing it all in one day, we can do the computer portion first and then we can make an appointment for you to come back and then you can finish everything together.
Cool. So the
Yes, walk-ins are always welcome.
So
yes.
You don't have to make an appointment. You can also walk in.
I can mention something real quick. If transportation is an issue, we do provide transportation. That's a nice part.
Okay.
So definitely we have transportation. If the person needs to break up their appointments, we can do in sections as well, whatever is more convenient for our participants. So definitely we have those options as well.
We got a comment that I wanted to address real quick.
Sure.
If I can get it to actually. Okay, so one of the questions which we actually kind of just addressed is who uses this database. And like you said, it's very confidential and it's restricted to you guys, Banner, and NIH, correct?
So for the actual database that we are creating right now, which is the most important part of this program right now, that's the phase we're in, the collection phase. Once this phase is over and it moves on to the researchers, we are going to be inviting researchers from all over to apply to our program. They actually have to sit in front of a committee and propose their plan for the research, what they are actually planning on doing before they even get to see anything. And once they do, they are also bound by all these confidentiality laws on a federal level, on a state level, and on a research level, which there are different laws protecting this. So this is where our HIPAA, FSMA, and our certificates of confidentiality play a role. So these researchers will be bound by all of these confidentiality laws, and they cannot share anything, but also they are limited to the information that they get to see as far as the electronic health record portion.
Okay.
For the other portion, once they are approved for their research, that's when they're invited into our database and our biobanks, and they can actually carry out research on a huge list of different, on a huge list of different
iPhone people.
I know, gosh, they're so annoying. Who invited them?
You probably all have iPhones, huh? No. Oh, okay.
This is a Fitbit.
All right, there you go.
Which you can also link to our program if any of you have it, by the way.
Nice.
So just to go back to that question really quick, so it will be shared with researchers, but they do have to apply and go through a very long process of confidentiality, a whole committee of people, not just doctors and such. No, I mean every kind of person, just any other citizen. It's also important that our input is involved in this program, and that's why this committee will be composed of every kind of person that we can find to really contribute to the program.
Very cool. And I mean, anybody violating these restrictions, it's more than just a slap on the wrist. They can actually be
Absolutely.
prosecuted, correct?
Fines, penalties, jail time, you name it. There are
Awesome.
tons.
So there's
Even
lots of reasons
us.
not to share.
Yes.
Lupita, la Michelle Renee Jacques te manda saludos.
Hi.
No,
How are you?
now, the next question that we have is actually, this is a response that talking to other Mariposa programs and other programs around the community that comes up a lot, and it's reluctance to participate. And I feel like she says, this is Stephanie Rose Benavides Campos. She's a huge advocate for the program, but when she tries to promote to new people, they are very reluctant to participate. Now, I have a theory about this, and that's because it's a small community. So we talk about all the confidentiality and stuff like that, and we already joked about chisme, but I pointed to Patti. Patti will not go around sharing anything. She is one of the most professional people that you'll ever meet, as all of you. And I think that's what people are worried about. Because that's a conversation I've had with other people who have shared their reluctance to participate in programs like this because they're afraid that, no, pues sí, it's confidential, pero van a ir con su hermana y van a... Exactly. And that's what they're afraid of. But I think it's really, really important to express the professionalism that you guys have, that this is more than just a community program where people go to get information and start, chismeing around everywhere. This is...
I think to help maybe with that and answer that concern, or in response to that concern, as participants, Mariposa, in terms of, first of all, Mariposa, as employees of Mariposa, we have to go through a number of certifications in terms of confidentiality. And of course, that is something that we are always utmost.
Absolutely.
That's the most important thing. So we're not going to go around saying anything like that.
No, and I'm sure you've all have signed forms to that measure.
Correct.
Where that could end in prosecution.
And it's a commitment that we need to commit to every year as long as we're employees of Mariposa. And furthermore, because of the research project and working with human subjects, there's specific studies, certifications that come along with just that confidentiality training that we get as Mariposa employees to be a part and work as part of this research study. There's other components of it that are a requirement in human subject study that we also need to abide by, and they're quite strict, quite rigorous, very long, right, Lupita? Correct, and they are, and that's another one that you also have to upkeep and make sure that you're recertified as those expire as well.
Very cool. Now, another thing that I feel might be reluctance is, and this is something you guys already touched on, is whether or not their insurance will cover it. But you guys have already expressed that this is free. This is 100% paid for by grants, I'm assuming, and things like that, or?
Yes, it's completely covered. It's completely covered by the program itself. They do not need to pay for anything. They do not need to be a patient of Mariposa's either. So it could be anyone in the community that would like to come, and all they need to do is contact us, 520-375-6050, or stop by the Sierra. That's the 2-story building, first floor, near
We'll
Dental
put
and Pediatrics.
the phone number in the comments for
Yeah,
sure.
great.
Or Patti will later, I'm sure.
Correct the number.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, we're really covering the bases for why there's no excuse. And then we talked about the personal benefits, and let's really reiterate that. Who wants to really, really cover, for anybody that's watching right now who may be interested or isn't like Stephanie is an advocate for the program, something that they can tell people to really incentivize them, aside from money. I mean, the actual health benefits to them personally and to the community. Who wants to go over this? They're all looking at you, Liz.
I'll take it. Well, I could give a personal account myself.
Okay, cool.
My family's full of diabetics and heart disease. Of course, I want to eradicate that starting with myself, because with my children. I don't want this to be passed on to them. I want to be able to stop it before it gets to me. And of course, see what I can do with the genetic portion. You'll definitely, it can be used for preventative care. So for one, I'm going to take care of myself, and then I could also help with my children learn ahead of time before so with these diseases. So
Very, very cool. That's a very good way. I mean, if not for yourself, for your children, you know, that's really, really big. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, for me, like, it would just be so amazing to find out what is in my genes, like, especially if there's a certain disease that hasn't come up, but it might come up in a future generation.
Of course.
And if there's a way to prevent it, cure it, or treat it better than they could now, I mean, that's amazing. That's just
Absolutely,
really
because
promising to me.
there are a lot of genetic disorders that skip generations, and maybe the previous generations weren't aware of it, and it affected them. And for you to know that it's in your DNA is
It's a benefit. I mean,
Absolutely.
altogether, you already know what to start doing to take care of yourself.
absolutely.
Sure, I can add to that. I just actually want to drive their point home. It's the diversity in this that we're trying to capture for everyone, because we want to change the future of medicine. And unless we can get everyone involved from all backgrounds, all levels of education, all levels of income, from all different types of communities, and we can really, as one, change the future for all generations. And we're also used to medicine being a certain way that we don't even think about it that way. But medicine should not be one size fits all. I don't know about you guys, but it's never been for me. And that's what we're trying to change. We don't want it to be a one size fits all, because it's not. We want to tailor it
There's
to
a lot of
everyone's
bases to
need.
cover.
Yeah, we need to
Absolutely.
start going to actual tailors for our DNA, for our health.
Absolutely.
This is it.
And there's the start right there, right here with you guys. So one last question that I had about the app. Is that available on iPhone and Android?
Anywhere.
Okay. Anywhere?
Y'all can go
So
download
if
it
somebody,
anywhere.
some random person out there has a Windows phone, can they download it there?
If they have a Play Store, they absolutely should be able to.
Okay, very, very cool. Very cool. Or they can go online. If they don't have the app, they can
Online
go
is the only
and
other
do it
option.
there.
Yeah, online on the app, or come visit us if you don't have access to any of those things. We have the tech for you guys too.
Very, very cool. So if they're watching, they probably have access to the internet. But hopefully people are watching can tell their relatives who don't have access to the internet about what's going on. So spread the word as much as possible. Which reminds me again, please like and share this video. Spread it around as much as possible. I feel like this is something that the community has lacked and is going to be a major benefit to the community as long as the people participate and take advantage of what you guys are doing.
Yes, and it definitely puts Nogales on the map.
Absolutely, absolutely. For something good,
Exactly. There you go.
And
And
that's
everyone's always saying there's nothing in Nogales, there's
I
nothing to
know.
do. Hey, we just brought a whole research program to you guys.
you know what?
Come help us out.
If that's how you feel, sit down with Patty for 15 minutes. She'll te va a platicar todo.
She could run this session for 2 hours.
Absolutely, absolutely. Patty should have her own show.
But just to answer maybe a few other questions that our
Absolutely.
viewers might have. So how old do you have to be? 18 and up, please. No children, no one below under the age of 18. Lisette, you're an expecting mom. Can you participate in the study?
most definitely. So expecting moms are more than
That
more
was a
than welcome
question
to
that I was
come in.
thinking of,
Yes,
for sure.
definitely. We would be looking at things like our differences. Pregnant moms, expecting moms,
Which is something
what's one
Nogales has never had a shortage of.
that is true. But what is the one thing that us pregnant women have a trouble is with medications. We are very limited to what we can take. So with this, there possibly we could do studies to see what else can we take to take care of ourselves other than
Absolutely.
limiting ourselves to Tylenol and our prenatals.
Yeah.
So definitely.
That absolutely, I think that's very important because, when my wife went through a pregnancy, there was so much limited. Things were so limited for pregnant women, and because just the whole genetic process is different for someone who's pregnant as opposed to someone who's not.
Exactly.
And
Yes,
I think
definitely.
that the fact that you get that pregnant women are allowed in this and encouraged to participate is.
And actually,
huge.
anybody with any kind of conditions, whether you're healthy, whether you have a disability, anybody.
Upper respiratory infection.
Yes, even that. We want to know why you have that. Exactly.
There we go.
Definitely.
And it's not invasive. That's another cool thing, Pregnant moms, it's not invasive. Come on down, and it's that, which is why a lot of studies haven't been done for pregnant moms for that reason. And this is finally one of those programs where the baby doesn't have to be poked and prodded or anything.
Thank
It's
goodness.
just blood from mom that already has baby's DNA.
Awesome. Awesome. Very, very cool. I really, really thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate you. Where can people, what's the website that people can go to get more information?
You guys actually will get to see that in the comments as well, but there's a few different websites.
I think we actually
go ahead
have
and
that on
visit joinallofus.org and you're set.
Okay. And the app is just the All of Us app?
All of us have.
All of Us app. And the phone number?
520-375-6050.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming on for doing this here. You know, it's huge. Yeah.
We love Nogales.
There's a plug. There's a plug. Awesome. All right. So just a really quick, a couple of things that are coming up in the community. The second annual God Loves Gearheads 2 car show in Rio Rico will be this Saturday, March 30th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that will be in the Rio Rico Community Center. Now, for more information on this, we've shared it on our We Love Nogales Facebook page, and there's also information available on the Trucas Truck Club Facebook page. Good friends of the show. And then coming up on Sunday, Cero Estres, good friends of you guys, good friends of us here. Learn to build and maintain trails, Sunday, March 31st at 9 a.m. in the Monte Carlo Trails Public Park. If you guys aren't aware of what's going on there, Cero Estres has acquired funds and property to build basically not just a mountain bike park, but it's like a multi-use, multi-use park. And they're building it themselves, which is really cool because the community is building this. It's not just, they didn't hire contractors to come out. They do have support from some people who have experience with it, but they are the ones out there digging in the dirt, pounding the dirt down. So come out there this Sunday at 9 a.m. and learn how to build a trail yourself. Learn and to build and maintain trails. Now, I love hiking, and I've been trying to get my son into hiking too. And sometimes he gets into it, but then he's so afraid of bugs. I don't know. Yeah, my favorite spot is right along the, I think it's the creek or something right there in Rio Rico at the Guy Tobin Trailhead. That's my favorite. I like to start there and just go along the river. But there are some pretty good trails. There's a lot of really good trails. You just got to look for them. Yeah. So I love hiking, so I'm going to be there on Sunday for sure. I'm going to learn how to build and maintain a trail. Are you guys going to be there?
I'm flying out on Sunday.
No, Pati, no me digas. Puras excusas, no? I'm just kidding, Pati. All right, so thank you guys. Thank you. There will not be in Línea with Joe Wright next week because I will be in Tucson doing a live storytelling event. My first time ever doing this, and I'm a little bit nervous. But I'll make sure that somebody records video so you can catch me messing up. But I will be back the following week with Frank Bejarano, actually. Frank Bejarano is going to be on the show in 2 weeks. So we'll see you guys then.
Thank you.
And we love Nogales.
Yes.